Today we will be talking about the French Revolution.
So politically, France was under a monarchy, which meant that the king had absolute power to do whatever he wanted. The third estate was also underrepresented, and this led to the National Assembly. Socially, the classes were divided unfairly. The third estate paid unreasonably high taxes with little to no representation politically, whereas the first and second estates enjoyed numerous benefits with almost no taxes. This inequality led to the peasants revolting. Economically, France was struggling, so in order to fix this, they reshaped the tax system. But the higher classes were unwilling to give up their lavish lifestyle and pay higher taxes. This led to even more tension between all the estates. The exit of the Huguenots, the French Protestants in the 17th century following the revocation of the Edict of Nantes, represented the loss of skilled labor, economic vitality, and religious morals. The Enlightenment, with its individual rights and emphasis on reason, profoundly influenced revolutionary thoughts. People with higher thought process, such as Voltaire and Rousseau, often pushed the limits of absolute monarchy and spoke out for greater individual liberties and representative government. Such ideas had led to discontent and have provided a philosophical framework for revolutionary action. Political, social, and economic factors doubled with the intellectual ferment of the Enlightenment, creating the conditions for the French Revolution. The monarchy played a central role in governance, but its absolute power and disconnect from the common people contributed to the revolution. The financial crisis highlighted inequalities in the social structure and the monarchy's ignorance of its citizens. The estate system created great division in French society. The inequalities and frustrations experienced by the Third Estate ultimately led to calls for reform.
The storming of the Bastille was an iconic conflict of the French Revolution on July 14, 1789. Fears that the King Louis XVI was about to arrest France's newly constituted National Assembly led a crowd of Parisians to successfully besiege the Bastille, an old fortress that had been used since 1659 as a state prison. Louis XVI, former king of France since the abolition of the monarchy, was publicly executed on January 21, 1793, during the French Revolution at the Place de la Révolution in Paris. At his trial 4 days prior, the National Convention had convicted the former king. They condemned him to death by a simple majority. The execution by guillotine was performed by Charles Henry. The tennis court oath, a pivotal event in the French Revolution, was a pledge made by the Third Estate on June 20th, 1789, in a tennis court at Versailles, vowing not to disband until France had a written constitution.
Louis XVI was last king of France before the revolution. He didn't really care about the people, but he tried to be a good king. He attempted to fix the financial crisis, but he didn't do a very great job. The people became more and more discontent. Louis XVI's reign was seen as an oppressive monarchy. Marie Antoinette was the wife of King Louis XVI and the Queen of France. Her lavish lifestyle was frowned upon by the public because the people were struggling with high taxes and poverty. She was frequently used as a scapegoat for France's problems during the Revolution, and she was executed for treason after the Revolution. Maximilien Robespierre was a lawyer and politician who advocated for the rights of the common people. He helped to oversee the government during the Reign of Terror. He thought terror was necessary in the Revolutionary, which led to the execution of thousands. He was eventually arrested by the National Convention and executed. Georges Danton was known for his powerful speeches and ability to influence masses of people. Georges was the first president of the Committee of Public Safety, and he advocated for the use of force during the Revolution. However, then, Georges Danton's views changed, and he became concerned with the Reign of Terror. This led to his eventual downfall because he was seen as a rival to Robespierre. He was executed by the guillotine along with several of his followers.
The French Revolution had drastically changed the political and social ways in the French government. Politically, it had dismantled the absolute monarchy by replacing it with a republic based on ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The revolutionary government implemented significant reforms, including the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, which had emphasized individual rights and freedom. Socially, the revolution changed the traditional hierarchies and social structures. Nationalism fostered a sense of shared French identity and had replaced regional loyalties. The revolution's emphasis on equality led to reforms in education and legal systems. Though these were not always fully realized, the impact extended far beyond France's borders. The revolution's legacy continues to shape political and social discourse today. Today we will be talking about the French Why are they screaming?
Represented a loss of skilled labor, economic vitality, and religious morals. The Enlightenment, creating the conditions for the French Revolution.
French?
Let me read that.
Fears that the that King Louis by a victory by representation representation
Representation.
I can't say it. A pivotal event in the. Do I need to add more to that?
That's fine. Louis XVI was the last king of France before the revolution. He didn't really care about the people of France, but he sort of tried to be a good king. Let me read
What?
that. During the revolutionary. Georges was the first person.
Can I redo my other half? With a republic based. Wait. I lost my spot. A sense of shared French identity and had replaced.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
The revolution's emphasis on social discourse.
Discord.
Okay, I said it right.